Welcome to the spookiest episode of Nick's News. I'm Ella Johnston.
And I'm Lucy Larson. This week's newscast features stories on supernatural experiences and football.
I want to suck your blood, vampire.
On Friday, football has a state game, and then on Monday, the swim team swims in Layton, and volleyball has a state game, and if they win, they play on Thursday. So good luck. I'm Alexander Gray, and that was your spooky sports rundown.
The content assessment lab will be open Monday through Thursday, 2:30 to 4:30 in room 1410. On Wednesdays, it'll start at 8:30. Make sure to bring your teacher referral. Ashlyn brings us a story on supernatural experiences.
In honor of Halloween next week, I decided to ask some of the staff if they've had any supernatural experiences.
This happened October of 2008. I was in my bedroom in my brand new condo. I woke up in the middle of the night and something was touching a touch screen that was across the room from my bed. There is a control panel and something was swiping through the control panel. And it does not move any other way.
I was working at the hospital like 5 or 6 years ago. I was walking around the halls at about 3 in the morning and I felt someone pass behind me and I turned around and no one was there. And I heard someone walking away from me and I was like, what's going on? And I turned around and someone disappeared around a corner. And so I went to follow them because I was like, who's wandering the halls at 3 in the morning? Turned the corner, no one was there. But there was this huge big glass painting with a glass covering over it, and I saw my reflection clearly in it, and then I saw someone else's reflection right behind me, and I turned around and no one was there.
My master's, and I was interning as a vice principal at Kearns Junior High. So I'm sitting in my office, and this sign was on my door. So it's my first name and then my last name at the time, but it does say Margot there. So this was on the door, and I was sitting in my office like this, typing, and it was a long, skinny office. And all of a sudden I hear this voice, and it felt like it was right here. And it was probably like a 11-year-old, maybe 13-year-old girl voice that was like, hi, Margot. And I went, ooh. And I look out my door, because the door was right here. And I was like, no one is here. So I quickly get up, and there was an office on the other side of the wall that was behind me, and I was like, oh, maybe the wall was thin or something, so I could. And I look, and I was like, no, you guys, I think I had my first ghost experience. Okay, awesome.
Again, this was probably maybe 6 or 7 years ago now, and wild story because we had random visitors to the hospital, and they kind of got kicked out and they disappeared, and in the parking garage they did a death dance for the person to I don't know, send them off to the next life. And for weeks afterwards, a lone figure was seen dancing through the parking garage, and security would go out and try to find them. They never found them.
Avoid hospitals. This is Ashlyn Monroe with the Nick's News.
If you want to try out for basketball, there's a mandatory meeting November 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Tryouts are November 7th at 2:45 in the main gym. Contact Coach Walkenhorst if you have any questions.
Sapphira brings us the question of the week.
Oh, hello, I'm Sapphira, and this week's question of the week is, what's the lamest Halloween costume? What's the lamest Halloween costume?
Cowgirls, because they're basic.
Nice.
The cowgirls that wear the pink cowgirl hats. I think it's just very basic and not fun.
I think anyone from Stranger Things, mostly Steve Harrington.
What is the lamest Halloween costume?
Cats. They suck.
Anybody that dresses up as a zombie.
Minions. Mummies.
The group costumes where they all do Mean Girls with Regina George and all of that.
Ella brings us a story on football. The football team has had a fabulous season. Let's go meet some of the players.
Okay, so what I do to get mentally and physically ready for games is to be able to practice what I'm going to be doing in game. So a lot of what I'm doing is punting stuff and kickoff stuff, so I can mentally prepare and be ready for the game.
How I think the team is doing this year, I think we're doing really good. We have the 5 seed headed into the playoffs. We had a bye, and now we play Weber. I'm pretty confident about how we're going to do in the playoffs because we've already beat Weber before. So yeah.
So my favorite part about being on the team is building relationships with the players, and being a sophomore, it's cool to have an example from the older guys and, like, you know, how they set an example for you, and, you know, just being a part of, like, the whole program.
I'd say my most memorable play is my pick in the Clearfield game. It bounced off Luke Hansen's helmet, and I caught it for a pick. It was pretty funny.
I'm Ella Johnston with the Knicks News.
If you have any story ideas, make sure to email us at knicksnewsstory@gmail.com at least 2 weeks in advance. Make sure to check out our socials, and we'll see you next week.